Welcome, friends. In the series of categorization of mutual funds, we have already seen all 11 types of equities fund. Then we have seen 16 types of debt mutual funds. Then we have seen index fund, and under these hybrid mutual funds, we have seen arbitrage funds. In the same category, today we will see conservative hybrid fund. So let us show you. So this equities, all this we have seen. Then debt market we have seen. Then apart from this, we have seen this index fund and ETFs. Then we have seen this arbitrage. Today is conservative hybrid fund. Of course, this balance other funds like balance hybrid, aggressive hybrid, dynamic asset allocation, balanced fund, multi-asset, equity savings, we will see one by one. And of course, at last, we will see children's fund and retirement fund. All type of funds will be covered. In this with this overview, I would like to share today conservative hybrid fund. So, how do conservative hybrid funds work? First topic is this. Before going to this, let us understand what is hybrid fund. Hybrid fund are those funds where both equities and debt are mixed. There are some portion of debts and some portion of equities in different ratios and accordingly named shares. In the case of conservative hybrid fund, as the name suggests, it is too much conservative. Principal conservation is first choice. Second mandate or second choice is to earn more than FD fixed deposits. Keeping in this view, keeping this in mind, this hybrid fund has been created and one separate category for conservative hybrid fund raised and it is there. So how do conservative hybrid fund works? For working, we have to see this ratio, how it is aligned. For conservative hybrid fund, there are more component of debt in that one. Component part will be minimum 75% to maximum 90% of total portfolio. This balance minimum 10% to maximum 25% will be equity part. Why this is so? Only because to give some extra income more than FT. Some component of hybrid, this equity is are there. So to get more earnings, debt part provides required stability with decent return. So this is the working of a conservative hybrid fund. How it works? We have already seen in the previous videos, equity funds are more volatile and require more risk appetite to invest in that. Whereas debt funds are relatively more stable. Of course, there is also some risk associated, like interest rate risk, liquidity risk, default risk, credit risk, liquidity risk. So all type of risk also there, even with debt funds. But having said so, Comparatively, with respect to equities, debt fund have very less risk, and we can expect return as per our aim, as per our goal in which fund we are investing. Accordingly, we will get almost on the same range. For the equities, we cannot say so, but for this, we can predict this will be range. Of course, there are some risk there, so some fluctuation might be, but there will not be a lot or massive change in the expectations. Now, second part is what are the advantages of investing in conservative hybrid funds? Of course, as discussed just now, first one is higher returns than FPs. 75%, at least 75% to 90% each invested portfolio party invested in instruments like corporate papers, like commercial papers, CDs or certificates of deposits or treasury bills, government bonds, corporate bonds. So all these are there. Depends upon maturity period. These earnings will be more or less. So this will provide a stability. At least we can get near about FTs or some extra than FTs here, little bit, but this will give balancing effect there. This equity part, minimum 10% to 25, this will create extra some alpha, which will give definitely more return than FTs. So this is the construction of the conservative hybrid fund. Another advantage is relatively less risky than other hybrid funds. In other hybrid funds, equity component increases. Accordingly, this risk will increase. This minimum risk with some equity portion there. So it is less risky, relatively less risky than hybrid fund. Of course, more risky than debt funds, but far less risky than equities fund. Even among other hybrid funds, it is relatively less risky. And third advantage is well diversified portfolio because both debt and equities are there. So any investor want to have some equity exposure, they can get from here. The first step beyond debt, this will be there. This conservative hybrid where they will get little bit of equity exposure and can have understanding how it moves, what are the benefits. So this is the well diversified with minimum equity exposure, with minimum volatility. What is possible, it is there. So these are the advantages of investing in conservative hybrid funds. Now, another thing is who should invest in conservative hybrid funds? The new question is this: who should invest? First is investor who want to start investing in equity. You are too much risk averse. You are investing only in debt. Then you graduated to upper level. Then what you will do? You want to have some equity exposure. So best thing to invest with minimum equity exposure is conservative hybrid fund. From here onwards, there will be more and more equity exposure. So from beginning or a starting point can be conservative hybrid fund. Second, of course, investor seeking higher returns than FDs without taking many risks. Those investors who are risk averse but willing to take little bit extra risk than debt, then they can go for such conservative hybrid fund. And third is investors who are close to their retirement. They can also go for this. One thing I would like to highlight here, we should see goal, how much away is goal. If his goal is in coming in short term or medium term, then we should look for conservative hybrid fund. Goal less than 3 years, even you can go here because this little part is equity. If it is 3 to 5 years, then it is best suited. For medium term, it is best suited. Whosoever they have their maturity plan or goal in medium term, definitely they should go for conservative hybrid funds like child education or child marriage falling within 5 years. But definitely after 2 or 3 years, they should look for conservative hybrid fund. Or maybe next new car they want to purchase or go for vacation, maybe higher education. I mean, so this can be predicted in that time frame it will come, and then they look for this conservative hybrid fund where they will get their capital protection and of course little bit extra than FT's return will be possible. Now another thing is things to consider before investing in hybrid mutual fund. Okay, of course, this first one is investment goal. Ki how much your investment goal? If it is long term, more than 7 years, 10 years, it is not suited. It is not good to go with this conservative hybrid fund. For long term, one must go with equities only. Of course, some part will be debt, but majority part should be in equities. But how much should be equities? Earlier, thumb rule was 100 minus age. If somebody is 50 years old, then 50% in equities, 50 would be in debt. But now this has been changed to 120 minus age. So it depends anyway. Your risk appetite, how much risk you can take accordingly, you can decide for long term. If it is medium term, that means 7 years, 3 to 5 years, you can save better. Then, of course, this hybrid mutual fund are best suited among hybrid mutual fund. Whosoever are more conservative, more risk averse, they should go with this conservative hybrid fund. Even for shorter term, if it is more than 2 years and 2, 3 years, they can go. For ultra short term, like less than 1 year or 1.5 year, they should not go even with this conservative hybrid fund. Then they should go with only debt funds. Second is investment risk. Of course, whosoever having less risk or they don't have much risk appetite, especially nearing to their retirement or senior citizens, they should invest in this fund. Definitely, they will have very less risk appetite. So they should not think more for hybrid this equities fund. They should think for blend of both, that is conservative hybrid fund. Third is expense ratio. Expense ratio, definitely we should think in the case of equities, depends upon regular and direct fund. If it is a direct, then in the vicinity for 1%, maybe up to 1.25 or 1.5, or even less than 1%, we can have expense ratio. For regular, maybe up to 2.25. But hybrid or debt funds, definitely it will be less than 1 year, 1%, maybe 0.5%. So we should see expense ratio and go with relatively less expense ratio, where investment return are almost same. Definitely will be same. There will be no much changes. Then we should look for which scheme having lowest or in the range of lower rung this expense ratio. We should go with that. Then another part is taxation on conservative hybrid fund. Taxation depends upon two components, whether it is long term or short term. As we know, for the equities, for short term, it is 15% tax. For long term, 10% tax. There in equities, less than 1 year is considered short term, more than 1 year is long term, and 10% charge. For debt fund, less than 3 years, it is considered short term, and for short term, tax is as per individual's tax bracket. If he falls in 30% tax bracket, he will have to pay accordingly. For more than 3 years, there will be 20% of tax, of course, with indexation benefit. In the case of hybrid mutual fund, both are there. So how it will be taxed? It will be taxed as per debt mutual fund only. To qualify as equity, it should this equity part should be more than 65%. But it is far beyond. It is maximum 25% only. So it will be considered this one. Wherever there is more debt component, it will be considered a debt mutual fund and tax treatment will be accordingly. So for conservative hybrid fund, it will be taxed like a debt fund. If we are redeeming our portfolio or this scheme before 3 years, then we have to pay as per our tax slab. In which tax slab we are falling, accordingly we have to pay. If it is more than 3 years, then it will be long term, then we have to pay 20%. So these are the things for conservative hybrid fund. I think you would have got complete idea of conservative hybrid fund, all aspects of this. You, if you find some values, please do like and share with your colleagues and friends so that they can also get some benefit out of this. If you have any comment, please do that. If you want to cover any topic of your interest for mutual fund or stock, please do write to me so that I can take in coming videos. Please do subscribe to this channel if not subscribed so far so that you can get instant notification whenever I'm posting new videos. Till then, thank you. Bye bye.